I would like to start off saying over a Maisa with the Alter Bluzshev Rebbe, who was a very close Rebbe of my Shver Zatzal, and just say over one Maisa, which is going to lead up to the theme of what we're going to talk about. It was known that when he first came to America, so he had to raise money. He wanted to have a yeshiva and he wanted to have a shul like everybody. So came the first year, he made a dinner, Malaf Malka, and it was very matzliach. He raised a lot of money, and he was very happy with the results. Of course, not everybody who wanted to come, who davened in the shul, was able to come, and not everybody was able to give a lot of money and so forth. But that's normal. You expect from who you could get from, and whoever you can't, you can't. That's derech ha'olam. Anyways, one time he was crossing the street. So he was waiting on one side of the street, and the light was red. And on the other side of the street, there's somebody who davened in his shul who was a regular mispal. And the other guy was embarrassed because he wasn't able to come to the dinner, and he didn't have money to give, and he just couldn't. So the Bluzshev Rebbe was crossing the street, and this person, he sees the Rebbe coming, so he wanted to run away, but it's bizyonis if he ran away. So he didn't run away. So what did he do? He went over to the Rebbe and he apologized to him and said, "Shuldig, Rebbe, I wasn't able to come, but I'm going to send you a check and everything else." The Rebbe saw this. He says, "What am I doing? I'm making people be embarrassed from me by me making a dinner. I can't do that. For me, it's not kedai, the whole dinner." And since that time that he saw one person was embarrassed to see him because he wasn't able to donate or attend his Malav Malka, since then, Kol's man, he was alive. He did not have a moised. He did not have any Malav Malkas. He had people from the shul give money to support the shul, but he never made any fundraisers. Mamish for that reason. He's also known as a major big Baal Meifes. Just to say over one quick Maisa, was once that he was together by a bris with the Alter Biyana Rebbe. And they're both big tzaddikim. So the Avia Ben said, he saw he didn't know who to give the Sandikas to. Should he give it to the Bluzshev Rebbe or should he give it to the Biyana Rebbe? The Maisa, he didn't know what to do. So he went over to the Rebbes who were schmoozing, they were good friends, and they were schmoozing and learning, whatever it was. So he went over to them, he says, "Rebbes, I can't decide who should be Sandik. So you two decide amongst yourself." Understand that they were both in their 70s. And they were arguing back and forth who should be Sandik. Finally, Bluzshev Rebbe gets up and he says, "You know what? Simple solution. Biyana Rebbe, you be Sandik. I will be Mesadik Kedushin." They looked at him, he's in his 70s already, what is he saying? The Maisa, Kachava Uvda, Biyana Rebbe was the Sandik, Bluzshev Rebbe, however many years later, was the Mesadik Kedushin. It was Taka Zeicha to live almost till 100 years old. It was Bavus that many people came to him for Yeshuas and Brachas, who was a big pile Yeshuas. Yehi Zichrei Baruch. Now I wanted to talk about what's the Avodah. Now we're coming into Yemei Sfira, and we're coming into, we're in middle of a Ben Azmana, but we're going into a very serious time of Kabbalah Satira, and the countdown is started already till Kabbalah Satira. What do we see is the Ikka Midah that a person has to have, and as you know, we all have to emulate every Midah of Kudsha Brichu. And one of the Ikka Midas of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, as we know, is Chaisamai Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu Emes. His signature is Emes. Why is that? Why Emes more than any other Midah? Because if I would tell you on myself that I could pick up, say, the Empire State Building with one hand, you say, Stam, Meshigana. If the Rebbeinu Shalom says he could do it, he is a Kol Yachayil. He can do everything. So therefore, there is no such thing as an exaggeration. He can do anything. He could make it real. And only because he is a Kol Yachayil. Therefore, there's no such thing as a lie, an exaggeration by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because he is a Kol Yachayil. Whether you understand it or not, he is a Kol Yachayil. said in the Torah by Kriyas Yamsuf. The Rebbe Shalom told Klal Yisrael, V'sham niso, go across the Yamsuf. They were scared to go. So Rebbe Shalom davened to Rebbe Shalom. So Rebbe Shalom tells him, Ma titzak elai, why are you screaming to me? What's the pshat? Says the Zohar. What does it mean, Ma titzak elai? That you are coming to me with the midah of Yaakov Avinu, which was the midah of Tiferet, which is also called Emes, right? And a law of Madrega. So the Rebbe Shalom said, no, from that midah, from Yaakov Avinu, and the midah that you have, that's where your Sherish Neshama is from. It's not going to work. It's not a strong enough koyach in order to make Kriyas Yamsuf. In order for it to be a strong enough koyach for Kriyas Yamsuf, what has to happen is you have to come onto a higher Madrega, which is called Atika. And in Atika, on the highest Madrega, says the Safra Tzneisa, which is part of the Zohar, that is Midas Emes. That's how the Goin teaches it. How do you see that? The Remes in the Pasuk of Ma Titzak Elai is Rashi Tevis Emes, not in order, but it's Ma Titzak Elai is Rashi Tevis Emes. What is this phenomenon called Emes? And you see La'amita Shel Torah, because Emes in Mispar Katan is Aleph Mem Tav, which is 1, 4, and 4, which is 9. As many people know already, that number 9, no matter how many times you multiply it, always comes out to number 9. Never changes. In other words, you do 2 times 9, 18. 8 and 1 is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 7 and 2 is 9. Always comes back to number 9. So Emes, and that shows you the Amita Shel Davar, that it's always coming back to the Sherish. It's Emes from beginning till the end. That's why it's Chaysama Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Emes, because there is nothing else by Kodesh Baruch Hu besides Emes. There's also just another Remez. It's also fairly well known that the Torah starts Bereishis Bara Elokim. It starts with Eis Beis. So if you go every 3 letters, Beis, Gimel, Dalet is how much? Is 2, and 3 is 5, and Dalet is 4. Comes out a total to 9, which is Mispar Katan Emes. Therefore the Torah Moshe Emes, V'Sairasa Emes. You see it Merumas because it starts with a Beis. If it would start with an Aleph, and that Chazal tell us why it didn't start with an Aleph, because Aleph is Aror, right? So if you start from the beginning, go Aleph, Beis, Gimel, it comes out to Aleph is 1, Beis is 3, Gimel is 6. If you take the word Sheker, Sheker is 3, Kuf is 1, Resh is 2, is also 6. So you see that either way, no matter what you do, you go every 3 letters to the entire Aleph Beis. So if you start from Aleph, it will always come out to Sheker, and if you start from Beis, it will always come out to Emes, which is an unbelievable thing. You realize the way the Kadosh Baruch Hu set up the Torah, the definite chelek between Baruch and Aror. There's chilukim with Anochi, which we're not going into right now. Now we know also that Chazal tell us that kasha zivugan shel adam kekriyas yamsuf, and kasha mizaynoisav shel adam kekriyas yamsuf. What's the pshat? So normally the pasha pshat is that we say, because since a person has to jump into the water, he has to jump into the ocean in order to get across kriyas yamsuf, and for that you need 100% emes la'amita emuna shalema. And if you don't have it 100%, you can't do it. You're jumping off a cliff into the ocean. Not everybody believes that the ocean's going to split for you. So it was a high madrega of bitachon, which they didn't necessarily have. And so too, a person who's in shidduchim, some people are older, some people are younger, you have to have 100% bitachon that Rebbe Shalom is going to come take care of you. If you have that bitachon, then it'll happen. But that bitachon has to come from emes. And if you take the word kasha, which is kuf is 1, shin is 3, is total is 4, plus the hey at the end is 5, and kasha is also mispar katan emes. And you have the same thing with parnasa. People struggle for parnasa in different areas. You have to be baiteach b'Hashem 100%. And it's also kasha mizay noisav shel adam is the remez, is also midas ha'emes. And just as a sidebar, if there's one place where many people are not 100% honest, so one is when it comes to shidduchim, everybody likes to, pump up the either side to say that they're much better than they really are, or they overlook a certain chesroinus that they may have. And so too in business, he meant I could take the money, or whatever the case may be. The people are not as honest in business, and that's why the midah of emes is what gives the person the hatzlacha. If a person wants to be matzliach in business, has to come through midas emes. A person wants to be matzliach in shidduchim, has to come through midas emes. Emes is everything. So, on that note, we're going now forward, going for Kabbalas HaTorah. We have to believe that the Torah is Torah's emes. L'chai olam not b'sechenu. He planted it within us. This Moshe emes, v'sayrasai emes, and as long as we stick with the emes will carry us through. Just like the Torah carries us, we don't carry the Torah, so too the emes will carry us together with the Torah. And with that, we go forward to Anaya Haschala, Sunas Kabbalas HaTorah. So of course we have to work up that we should be worthy mekablim of the Torah. If we're not worthy mekablim, we won't appreciate it. And how many people we know today are not keeping it to the letter of the law because they don't appreciate what the Torah is, because they have a chesaron in their emunah b'tachan, and they're not really being mekabel Torah's emes. On that note, may we all have a guten Zomer and hatzlacha in our years Shemayim and Torah.